The Lady in the Fog saved the day. I had auditioned for a production of David Mamet's Speed the Plow, and I had already played in Glengarry Glen Ross in Vancouver. The audition was in Toronto for somewhere out of town, and I was pretty confident that I'd get the part because I'd already done Mamet and I had an affinity for his crazy language. And so I was delighted but not amazed when I got the part. So I went to a bookstore and I bought a couple of books on St. John, New Brunswick, and a map, and got all ready until, of course, the day before we left to learn that I wasn't going to New Brunswick. I was going to St. John's, Newfoundland. Our director and some of his crew met me and Jerry, the other Toronto actor, and took us to this sort of motel where we were supposed to be staying. Can you say orange chenille bedspread, boys and girls? Yeah. We were out of there pretty darn fast, and I was saying, just take me to the airport. But then, I didn't want them to think I was a complete schmo, so I said, look, I'm a pretty good salesman. Why don't we go into St. John's and we'll go to the biggest hotels, and I'll say, look, we're a couple of Toronto actors and we need a good monthly rate. We're going to be here for a month. We tried everyone. It wasn't such a good salesman. Nobody bought it. So now we're sitting in the car on some obscure street in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland. The fog is rolling in, which is what it does in St. John's, Newfoundland. It's either rolling in or rolling out, or always being there. And suddenly, it's quite cinematic, this image of a lady in a red coat, a red cape, sort of cuts through the fog. And I go running up to her and I say, hey, is this your bed and breakfast here? And she says, yeah, it is. And I said, well, we're a couple of actors from Toronto. We need a place to stay. She says, well, what do you need? I said, well, this is a very wordy play. We're going to be talking, doing lines constantly. She said, this won't work. People are coming here and going. But I do happen to have an antique, a heritage house filled with antique furniture up the street, and you can have it for $8.50 a month. Wow, sold. So we took it, and Jerry and I spent a month in this lovely house on Flower Hill. Jerry, who is a wonderful actor, you've seen him in many commercials across Canada for years, he choreographed the big fight scene. We got rave reviews. The people in St. John's, Newfoundland were wonderful. The food was sensational, and we had a great time. Pickle, seek and ye shall find. Know what you need and want. It'll show up.